what's going on, everybody? Q here, back at Denver Fan Expo, and I am joined by maybe someone who is experienced in one of my favorite things. I am joined by Katy, and who is this?
So thank you so much, Q. This is Tango, and she is one of our tiny little raptors from Jurassic Park, and taking her out to get some human interaction today.
Oh my gosh, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, Katy, you have a company and you are involved with a puppetry guild, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give the folks a little bit of information about who you are and what you do?
I would love to. Yeah, so my name is Katy Williams, and my company is Katy Williams Design, and I do puppet fabrication, we do workshops, we do teaching. I also am a puppeteer in addition to building them. And then I also run the Rocky Mountain Puppetry Guild, which is a pretty new guild. Puppet guilds are housed under Puppeteers of America, so that's our big national organization. And so we've got a little guild, and it's great. We've got 30 or 40 people all just passionate about puppets. We hang out, we have meetings, we go to shows, and we also run the Rocky Mountain Puppet Slam, which is something I've been doing the last 4 years. And it's just a collection of people come, they do a little 5-minute puppet act, you drink beer and hang out. It's great.
It sounds amazing. Now, I will say, this is a bit of an ace in the whole interview for me.
Oh.
Because I aside from being a lifelong puppetry fan, which I have been, I ended up working for a company which I cannot name for NDA reasons, but I worked for a company about 3 years ago that designed animatronics for very well-known theme parks around town.
Very cool.
And inside of that company, I met maybe some of the most amazing and talented puppeteers I've ever met in my entire life. And they introduced me to the world of puppet slams.
Yes.
I got to participate in some puppet shows. And like I said, I myself have been a lifelong puppet fan.
Yes.
So I'm very excited to talk to you about this.
Do you have a favorite kind of puppet or puppetry?
Okay, so there was a kind that I knew nothing about that I got to do a show. There was our local NPR radio station. I'm from Nashville originally.
Okay.
NPR in Nashville put on a show where they were adapting podcasts into a live stage show.
Fun.
And we got to take one and we did shadow puppetry.
Yes, I love shadows.
For one of their, it's kind of like a docu-series podcast.
Cool.
So we got to take the audience through this docu-series podcast using this really awesome shadow puppetry.
Oh, yes.
And so the puppeteer who headed it all up was a gentleman by the name of Dana Samborski, who used to do a bunch of shows at like Dragon Con we would go to.
Yep.
But it was really cool. So that, I think, was my first realization that puppetry could be other than this or this.
Yes.
That puppetry can really be a lot of things.
Yes.
Like there's all sorts of, if there is some sort of manipulation.
Yep, it's puppets.
It's puppets.
There's like over 30 different styles. I mean, there's probably about 7 different shadow styles.
Sure.
I mean, that's great. That's what I try to tell people. It's perfect.
So it's really, really exciting. So that said, since you asked me that question, what is your favorite puppetry style?
That's such a hard question. So I love shadow puppets. I'm a huge shadow puppeteer. We actually did a show last October during COVID, and it was outside, and it was shadow puppets, and it was about Sleepy Hollow, and it was great. Cool. So I love that, and then I really love lifelike stuff and larger than life. So my brand's puppet is a life-size Pegasus, and he's operated by 2 people.
Very cool.
He's beautiful. So, and I also like crankies, which are an interesting. They're not a new style of puppet, but they're very unknown.
Okay.
And it's sort
How
of
does
like
that work?
It's like a moving panorama. So mine is in a suitcase.
Okay.
You open the suitcase up, and then you see the images move, and the shadow puppets behind it and all sorts of stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's really great.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So where did your love of puppetry start?
Ooh,
We'll take it way back.
Yeah, way back, right? I'm unlike a lot of
you were
puppeteers.
Like 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
I decided that I really wanted to get into puppetry.
Unlike a lot of puppeteers, I wasn't a huge Sesame Street Muppet person.
Sure.
That's where a lot of people get their take.
Where I found my love.
Exactly. I just liked bringing things to life. And now as an adult, I realize I did that a lot as a kid.
Sure.
And when I was in high school, we did a showcase review thing, and one of the numbers was from Avenue Q.
Oh, very
And I got
cool.
to be Cape Monster, and that was
Nice.
the first time I ever put a puppet on my hand, and I was like, oh, something feels
This is
right about
fun.
this.
I like this.
And then anytime I had a chance in college and going through, I would study puppetry, and then I started my own company about 4 years ago.
Very
and
cool.
I've just been running events and building puppets and teaching people.
So what had you kind of start heading towards the guild thing?
Yeah, good question. So there's been a bunch of guilds in
Sure.
all of America, and when I spent a year in Maine, and then I came back to Colorado, as I'm from Colorado originally, and I came back and was kind of like, I think there might be enough people to do a slam here.
Very
so I
cool.
did the first puppet slam, and it was super well attended. People loved it, and so that was in 2018, I believe. And then at the beginning of 2020, we decided, hey, we've got enough people. Let's
Sure.
put all these nerds together, right,
Very
and talk
cool.
about puppets. And so it was created in the beginning of 2020, and obviously we had a little bit of a lag after that. But
Sure.
we're getting back up and starting to do stuff again.
Now, I had a gentleman that I used to work with as well, because puppeteers, I found, started doing some really weird creative things during the pandemic.
Totally.
So I have a friend of mine, and if you're watching, Michael Schupak is really amazing. He used to work with the Henson Company.
Oh,
He's done
yes.
some Sesame Street stuff. Really talented guy. But he was doing puppet Zoom calls.
Oh, yes.
That I was watching because we're friends
And, like,
on
bringing
Facebook.
joy to people.
And it was, yes. He was doing these really amazing, but he would do like puppet meetups. So their humans would not meet. It would just be their puppets.
I love
and so
that.
anyone could bring any puppet that they wanted.
Cool.
And they would just have like a half-hour puppet Zoom call where they would all be interacting and talking to each other.
amazing.
And it was amazing. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
And I found puppets have been able to bring joy to people last year, especially.
Totally. It was a tough time for everybody,
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And we could all use that levity and that little bit of... But that's one thing that amazes me about puppetry in general, and I'm sure that you'll totally understand and agree, is puppetry can be so much more than just like funny, haha, silly, cute things.
Totally.
It can also be really moving and
Yes.
really affecting.
Yes.
And that was kind of also one of the things that once I started to explore the puppetry world that I was shocked to find. You know what I mean?
Everybody just thinks it's Muppets and Sesame
And
Street
cute and, like, fun and haha,
And yes,
silly
there's a big
jokes.
part of it that's
Of
for
course.
kids, but you're exactly right. That's what I really love about puppetry is the storytelling and the more adult themes. And
it can be very heavy. I mean, I've
It's
seen
very
some
true.
really affecting, tear-invoking, puppet shows
Yeah.
and puppet performances. Now, I know you've used the term a couple times now, and for those who aren't familiar, what exactly is a puppet slam?
Oh, great question. So puppet slams are similar to poetry slams in the sense that it is a collection of puppets. And so the way I run my slam, they're all a little bit different. It's called the Rocky Mountain Puppet Slam. And so we ask for submissions of 5-minute, no longer than 5-minute long puppet pieces. And that's kind of it. It can be anything you want, any
Cool.
style, any genre, whatever. It just has to involve puppetry. And then I curate them not for content, but just to sort of get the flow of the night.
Sure, of course.
And then we try to do them in really accessible places. So like bars and like outside and like trying to not make it feel like a stuffy theater show.
Sure.
Trying to just, hey, grab a drink, come hang out with puppets. And then you just see crazy, weird puppet art. And it's fun.
Very
and
cool.
people use it for workshopping too. So if they kind of want to test out audiences and things
See
like
how
that.
it's gonna go.
Exactly.
See what the response is gonna
It's
be
just
like.
super fun.
That is super fun. So how's the weekend been here at the con at Denver Fan Expo?
It's been really great. This was actually a Halloween costume a couple years ago, and I just on a whim decided to bring it, and it was
love
been a
it.
hit. So
I love it.
Yeah, I'm actually here with Meow Wolf as a puppeteer for them.
Oh, that's amazing. I have a
Yeah.
friend that works for Meow Wolf too.
Hey, that's perfect.
We what a small world. We actually, my wife and I, Haley, which I think is the girl in the shining
Yes.
carpet shirt that you might have met earlier. We actually went through the Meow Wolf display here.
Yeah, that's where I was working.
2 days ago, 3 days ago.
Yes.
I've done Santa Fe and I got to do Las Vegas in February.
Heck yeah.
And what a cool, weird, fun place.
And talk
that
about
is.
treating artists well.
Yeah.
In my personal experience,
definitely.
I mean, as a puppeteer, we often are in really weird positions for hours and hours
Sure.
with like no breaks sometimes.
Sure.
And, I mean, this has been great. They've just really treated us well and been really just kind and wonderful about, our bodies and making sure we're okay and all of this, because it's very difficult to be a puppeteer sometimes. And
so for those who have been through the exhibit here, are you allowed to say like what it is you are doing there, or what you have done?
I am helping with some guerrilla marketing we have going on right now.
Very cool.
And it's actually here at Fan Expo now.
Very cool.
Yes, and there is a creature you can meet, and his name is Norm. And he is an alien creature fungus guy from the Convergence Station. But at Convergence Station, we don't accept human money. Our currency are memories.
Yep.
And so at Convergence, there's a memory storm, and we're losing our currency. So we've come out and we're asking Earthers to tell us some memories, and then they get some cool stuff in exchange.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. So if you are here at Denver Fan Expo, definitely make sure you stop by there. If you didn't get a chance to go while Denver Fan Expo was still going on, please make sure that you take a trip to Denver. Come experience it for yourself. Or Las Vegas, or Santa Fe. They're all amazing in their own right. Now, how did you get connected with that?
So I am a theater person. So I've been doing theater for a long time, and so I gravitate toward puppetry in theater.
Yeah.
And the woman who is running this program, Jessica Ogston, she reached out to me because she knew I was a puppeteer, and they were looking for some puppeteers, and here we are.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, it's been great.
That sounds super, super, super fun. And I've seen people walking around with swag from the Meow Wolf stand.
Yeah.
I think one of our own members came over there earlier.
Good.
And so that sounds like a lot of fun. That's really awesome.
It's been a blast, honestly.
Very, very cool. So what's kind of next for you? Are you doing any more conventions this year?
Question.
Do you have any slams coming up? Do you have anything going on that people might be able to check out?
Totally. So I just did a slam actually in August, and it was outside, and it was super fun.
Very cool.
I also run this thing called Puppet Palooza, which is a outdoor festival for kids centered around puppetry. So that happened at the same time. And now I am actually have a show in Colorado Springs about winter and snow and cute things, and it's going to be fun for the kiddos. And we have a Puppet Slams 3-ish times a year as we're kind of getting out of COVID. It's a little less than that right now, but if folks follow me, they can find more information about all of that. And yeah, that's pretty much what's next.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
So if people want to find you and find more information about the Guild as well, where can they do that? Yeah,
so if you are interested in following me, I have Instagram and Facebook, and they're both Katy Williams Design, and Katy is Katy, so Katy Williams Design. The Rocky Mountain Puppetry Guild, also on Instagram and Facebook as just Rocky Mountain Puppet Guild. And you can also follow the Rocky Mountain Puppet Slam through my page, Katy Williams Design. My website is Katy Williams Design. It's all the same, trying to keep it the same.
Perfect.
But we'll
Love it.
post there. And if anybody is interested in being in the Slam, I mean, it's for amateurs, novice, professionals.
Yeah.
Like, we love that. So please reach out. I usually do a call for submissions like a month-ish before the Slam. And you'll see that on my Facebook and Instagram and all of that. So we love new people. So yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with us. I sincerely appreciate it. It was very nice meeting you as well.
Good.
Thank you so much. Guys, absolutely. And if you loved this, check out all the amazing content that we have coming to you from not only Denver Fan Expo, from conventions all around the country, and from little old us ourselves. You can find that content at project-nerd.com. You can also find our YouTube channel at project-nerd. And we are anywhere that you listen to podcasts. We have 13 plus podcast shows. If there's something you nerd out about, good chance is we have something that involves it. So definitely check it out. We appreciate you. And until next time, we'll see you later.